Welcome back to our program. For those viewers who are just joining us, I'm Tony Noakes, and with me today is Dr. Wendy Walsh. Our topic on today's program is of special interest to anyone who has suffered injury due to a medical product or medical device. In this segment, we're talking about the disturbing side effect of permanent hair loss or baldness suffered by women diagnosed with breast cancer that included treatment with the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. So, Wendy, what can you tell us about this drug and its side effects?
Well, Tony, in many ways, Taxotere is a wonderful drug, a life-saving drug. It's prescribed to treat the majority of breast cancer cases in the United States. The drug works by interfering with the growth and spread of cancer cells in the body, and it was first approved by the FDA back in 1996. Now, the drug is typically given by intravenous in a hospital every 3 weeks, as compared to weekly treatments for other chemotherapy drugs. Sounds good, right? So the need for less frequent treatments has been promoted by Taxotere as a big advantage when compared to other chemotherapy drugs. Estimates indicate that there are about 2.8 million women in the United States with a history of breast cancer. And of these, approximately 75% were prescribed Taxotere for treatment of their symptoms. Now, this is a total market of approximately 300,000 women every year.
Wow, that's a lot of patients taking the drug. What are the hair loss side effects women are experiencing?
Well, here's the bad news. The major side effect women are experiencing with Taxotere is permanent hair loss or baldness after the treatment with the drug. The condition is called alopecia, and you can't underestimate how damaging to a woman's self-esteem and her identity hair loss is. Hair loss during treatment with chemotherapy, of course, is common, but permanent hair loss or baldness is not. And to make their situation even worse, these women could have been prescribed another chemotherapy drug that's just as effective but doesn't cause permanent hair loss or baldness.
Weren't these women taking chemotherapy warned about this increased risk with Taxotere?
Well, that's the big problem, Tony. The manufacturer of Taxotere is accused of failing to adequately warn about the risk of permanent hair loss. The label wasn't updated, indicating the baldness risk until December of 2015. And making it even worse, the drug maker reassured women all the way up until 2015 that hair generally grows back. According to product information provided for Taxotere, they actually stated that loss of hair in most patients taking Taxotere would occur, but once they've completed all their treatments, hair generally grows back. A claim that was proven to be completely untrue for many, many women.
What are the chances women taking Taxotere will experience this side effect?
That's the million-dollar question. Some studies indicate from 9% to as high as 15% of Taxotere patients will experience permanent, I'm saying permanent again, hair loss or baldness. The percentage might seem low to you, but when you consider the devastating emotional impact for women as they suffer with permanent baldness, I think any risk is too high.
Oh, sure. Wendy, are there symptoms or warning signs women who have taken Taxotere should be aware of?
Yes, there are. Now, typically, hair loss begins within 1 to 2 weeks of starting cancer treatment and increases during the first couple of months. Hair should be growing back within 3 to 6 months of starting treatment if regrowth is going to happen at all. Patients may experience sensitive scalp and itching, finding hair on their pillow, hair falling out in clumps, hair loss while shampooing or brushing, gradual thinning of hair, especially at the crown, and changes in texture.
That is a lot of symptoms. Has the FDA taken any action on Taxotere?
Yes, the FDA has been trying hard to protect women, but it's taken some time. Finally, in 2015, after 19 years, the FDA acknowledged that there had been reports of permanent hair loss and baldness in chemotherapy patients treated with Taxotere. The agency's announcement preceded a label change, finally, for the product, noting the possibility of permanent hair loss.
Wendy, what type of legal action has been taken by patients as a result of the hair loss and baldness side effects?
Well, you know women, they take charge. A number of lawsuits have been filed across the country, as well as multi-district actions that reports indicate have grown from just a few cases less than a year ago to thousands of cases today. The allegations are that these women experienced hair loss that didn't grow back following chemotherapy with Taxotere.
Wendy, this is just another example of the consumer suffering injury because the drug company failed to warn them of risks they faced when using their product. It's not the outcome you would hope for after being treated for cancer. So if you or a loved one has suffered permanent hair loss or baldness after taking the chemotherapy drug Taxotere, you need to call the number on your screen right now, as you may be entitled to significant compensation for those injuries. We hope the information we have shared with you today has been helpful.
Thanks for joining us.